If you like this video, please click on the like button. Comment with the names of the movies you would like us to cover next. Click the subscribe button and press the bell icon to get notified of our latest creations. We cover 100 movies from around the world every day. To advertise with our channel, reach out to us. Our contact information is on our channel page. Now, let's move to the plot of this movie.
The film is set in Scotland in 1954. Shiftless young drifter Joe Taylor works on a barge which operates from Glasgow on the River Clyde, along the Forth and Clyde and Union Canals to Edinburgh. He shares the cramped on-board living quarters with its operators, Les and Ella Galt, and their young son Jim. One day Joe and Les pull the body of a young woman, Kathy Dimley, naked except for a petticoat, from the water. Via flashbacks, we learn Joe knew her, and scenes involving his relationship with Kathy are juxtaposed with those set in the present time. Single quote. After finding Kathy's body, Joe and Les go to a local pub to play darts. Joe leaves Les behind and returns to the barge, where Ella succumbs to his advances, not wanting to disturb the sleeping Jim. The two engage in sex on the towpath. It proves to be the first of many such encounters they enjoy whenever they can find a few moments away from Les. In the past, Joe meets Kathy, an office worker, on a beach, and the two soon are living together. He aspires to be a writer and spends his days banging on a battered typewriter while she works to support them. Joe begins to suffer from chronic writer's block, and Kathy, unhappy with his lack of productivity, accuses him of taking advantage of her. In violent reply to her words, Joe humiliates Kathy, beats and rapes her. He packs his meager belongings and moves out. After tossing his typewriter in a canal, he meets Les, who offers him a job on the barge. Les eventually becomes aware of Ella and Joe's affair and moves out of the barge, which belongs to her. And Ella and Joe drift into a more serious relationship. When she receives word her brother-in-law has died, she and Joe visit her sister Gwen and invite her to spend a couple of weeks with them. One evening, on the pretext Gwen would like to see a movie, she and Joe leave the barge and go to a pub. After a few drinks, the two have sex in an alleyway. Eventually, Ella's desire to settle in the suburbs and her no-nonsense supervision of the barge's daily commercial activities put a dampener on the unbridled passion in her relationship with Joe, and he packs and leaves. Quote. In the past, Joe and Kathy reunite on the waterfront and have sex beneath a parked truck. She reveals she is 2 months pregnant with his child. And when Joe nonchalantly begins to walk away, she runs after him, trips, and falls into the water while dressed only in her petticoat. Joe makes no move to rescue her, and when she fails to surface, he panics and runs away. Single quote. Past and present converge. Daniel Gordon, a plumber whom Kathy was casually seeing, is arrested and tried for her murder, and Joe spends a few days in the courtroom listening to testimony. Guilt-stricken, he writes an anonymous note absolving Daniel of the crime and leaves it where a courthouse clerk can find it, but it has no effect on the trial, and Daniel is found guilty and sentenced to be hanged. Unwilling to risk his life, Joe opts not to confess how Kathy really died and leaves the area. Single quote.